Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Chuck. I'm coming today from one of the local parks because I want to do some work on the van, and this just seemed like a real good spot to do it. It's open and level, and I can get up on top and get back far enough. My driveway's a little congested to try to shoot a video like this at home, so I decided I'd come out here and do it here. So I'm going to talk about the van a little bit today, but I'll tell you a little bit about this park. Our town has two fairly large parks, and I live right kind of halfway in between each of them, so I visit both of them. This particular one here is where most of the athletic fields and stuff are. So I'm going to give you a quick pan around. I'll try to keep it out of the sun as much as I can. But back behind me over my shoulder there, you can see one of the ball fields, and as I pan around here, panning slowly, there's one of the soccer fields there. There's a couple of soccer fields. There's, I think, 4 ball fields. Pan around slowly, get past the sun here. You can see the old maintenance buildings there. You see the lights. There's 2 ball fields on the other side of there. You can see the lights from them. And then over here's barbecue ramadas, that type of thing. There's a skateboard course over there and a little playground. This is probably the original ball field right here. It still has native grass. Most of them they've replaced it with artificial grass because it requires less maintenance and less water. As I pan around here a little bit further, that's the library over there, and then there's the dog park, and back over here again there's tennis courts and basketball courts and pickleball and bocce ball and sand volleyball and all kinds of different courts. And the far end out there out of view past those trees is where the municipal pool is. It's been closed for several years due to maintenance issues, and they're trying to round up enough money to build a new one. And then there's more ball fields and another soccer field up at that end. So it's a pretty extensive operation here. Pretty nice. It gets pretty busy in the summertime. Today is a beautiful day. It's let me spin you back around here. Today's a beautiful day. It's Thursday, December 8th. Not a cloud in the sky. We've had weather the last few days, and but today is just absolutely beautiful. Kind of chilly. It's around 50 degrees. That's why I'm all bundled up. But other than that, you couldn't ask for a better day. So what I want to talk about today is had a water leak issue show up in the van, a rainwater leak issue, and it's kind of odd. I've been battling it off and on ever since I got the van. But today I thought I would explain a little bit about what it is and how I fixed it, and maybe give you a couple of pro tips on what to avoid if you build a van on your own. Because if it was up to me, this wouldn't be here to start with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin you back around. I'm going to take you inside the van, and I'm going to show you where the rainwater was coming from. That little red tray down there, that's my tools for fixing this. And now we're going to get up inside here. Now, you've been inside the van before on some of my other videos, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick it up here. That skylight is the problem child right there. And what that is, and I don't know if I can get a better angle, maybe this would be a better angle at it. There's light reflection off of it. But what that is that's an old sunroof, apparently. Back in the 80s and 90s, it was these aftermarket sunroofs were real popular, and people would put them in cars and pickup trucks. And what it is on the side closest to me there is hinges, and the thing in the middle on the back is a little latching clip, and you could open them up about 1.5 inches for ventilation. And they were real popular. The issue with them was, of course, is that after they got a little bit old, the rubber gasket would dry up and get brittle, and then they wouldn't seal anymore, and pretty much 100% of them leaked. And this one here is one of them that leaks. It's always leaked ever since I've had the van. And so I finally ended up having to just seal it up. And we'll go up on top here pretty quick and I'll show you what I did to seal it, and I'll show you where the leak is. I haven't fixed it yet because I wanted to show it to you, and I can't hold the camera and fix it at the same time. So I'll show you what it is, and then after I get done shooting the video, I'll repair that. While I'm talking about this, let me back up a little bit here and show you. I've also got a vent in the middle of the roof here, and that's just a standard 14 by 14 RV vent. When I bought the van, that vent was missing. There was just a big hole there, and I was surprised there wasn't more damage inside than there was, but it wasn't bad. And I went ahead and I bought the vent with a plastic cover and put in there, and the sun got to that in about 3 years. So my pro tip on that is, if you're going to build a van and put a vent cover in it, just go ahead and put the metal one in to start with, because the sun will destroy the plastic one pretty quick, especially if you live out in the West. That round thing just between the vent and the skylight there, that's the smoke detector. And then over here to the side, that's actually a carbon monoxide detector over there on the wall. And that includes a thermometer. And right now, according to, it says it is 73 degrees in here. So it's very pleasant inside here right now. And this warms up quite drastically. A lot of people, when they build vans, they feel they got to put a max air fan or a fantastic fan in there instead of just a plain vent. And those are okay, I'm not knocking them. But in my particular case, this top of this thing gets really warm. But all you got to do is open up that vent and open the doors, and it sucks all the heat out of here really quickly. So high heat has not been an issue as far as I've been concerned. The metal cover, of course, it gets hot when the sun beats on it, but it hasn't really been an issue. My biggest issue has been that silly water leak. And let me talk a little bit more about that as long as I'm standing here. Is where that leaks at, the back of that top, the fiberglass roof, and we'll try to get back where I can point it out a little better, but the back of that fiberglass roof is a little higher than the front. And the back of my van sits a little higher than the front. So water that lands on there, if I'm sitting on the level, tends to run to the front. Okay, when it gets to the front and comes in, it's going to, depending on whether the right side or the left side of the van is higher or lower, if the right side is a little bit lower, it tends to come around and drip from right there, which isn't really bad because it lands here in the walkway. But when I'm parked where the left side is a little bit lower, then it drips from there. And when it drips from there, it falls and lands on my bed, which is not a good thing. However, having said that, this camouflage, I don't know where fiberglass came from. This camouflage blanket here, believe it or not, is watertight. And so what it does, it beads up a little water, and I have a little puddle on the bed, but it doesn't leak into the bed, which is very beneficial, if you can imagine that. So the key thing, of course, is try to keep the water off of it. These old vans, of course, all the gaskets are all dried up, and so they'll leak in a driving rain. The back doors leak, the side doors leak. But let's go back outside here, and I'll take you around, and I'll take you upstairs, and I'll show you what is actually leaking. You can see I brought my 8-foot step ladder. One of the advantages of the way I set this up is I can haul long things in it. And I was able to just put this step ladder inside the back of it. Okay, there's the skylight from the top. As you can see, I've used waterproof tape on it to seal it up. And I resealed it not too long ago. I thought I had it whooped. But what I think it was happening is when it sits, as you can see, this area back here is a little higher than the area in front of it. So water will tend to run to the forward side. And basically when the left side here is down a little bit, then it puddles right there. And apparently it had worked its way underneath the tape right in here. And that's where it was leaking and dripping on the inside and dripping on the bed. So I've got the stuff with me to fix that. I'll fix that while I'm here after I get done shooting the video. There's the metal vent cover. Don't want to get too much into the sun there. It's kind of glary. But anyway, that's what my issue is, and I believe I can get it fixed fairly simply. It's interesting, if I'd have parked the other way, it probably wouldn't have leaked. So we'll get her fixed, and it's not a big deal. It's a 31-year-old van, and the old vans are going to have issues. So that's my water leak part. Now I'm a little bit over 10 minutes. I think I'm going to end this right here, and I'll shoot another short video here. But let me spin you around one more time. So anyway, that's my water leak issue. That's how I tend to address it. A couple of pro tips on if you build your own van, on how to keep from having the same problems I've got. And I'm going to shoot another little video here and talk about my charging system and my battery system. But this is over 10 minutes, so I'm going to cut this one off now. So as always, take care of yourself. Love your neighbor. Love your family. It's an excellent life. And we'll talk at you again here in a little bit. Peace out.